It's my view by It's My Yard. Now, the first off, this recording is done before IGN have posted their details, so some things could overlap and some things may not be covered by this review. Stepping into WWE 13, though, the event that I attended was rather satisfying, being one of the first people to play the finished game. The event itself had stacks of TVs with WWE 13 around, a mock ring, nothing like the real thing, it was made of plastic, to take photos, and an interview area, and a free bar. Wowzers. While waiting outside, I met Smacktalks for the first time, and for much of the event we were sitting side by side playing the game. And by God almighty, there's a lot of things to cover. A lot. So, where do I begin? Unlockables, Attitude Era, create an arena, create a title, new moves. I know, let's start with what most people didn't see at the event, but we know, is that Goldust and DDP were exclusive to fan access. Bang! Let's go with core gameplay. Control scheme is exactly the same as WWE12, bar the exception of a couple of new features. Firstly, the leverage pin is now an offensive move ability. Having your opponent groggy, and then use the right thumbstick to attempt a pin, which can then be reversed into its own pin, which then can be reversed, and so on. Additionally, the catch finishers can be used, as long as you have a finisher, by spamming the Y button when they're about to springboard or fly off the turnbuckle, and is essentially an automatic hit. It is not a skill-based counter, as mentioned, at least from my experience, although I was playing it with finishers on Infinite. You just have to be in the right area or position to attack, whether on the mat or standing. I can confirm, though, that you can do an RKO mid-air through a table, and you can't do a catch finisher counter if you're lying on the table, or if an opponent flies off the cage, the chamber, the Hell in a Cell, or a ladder. The table physics have been changed a bit, mainly when diving onto a late opponent, as the opponent will land on the back of their neck, like the backdrop driver animation. The old animation could still be there for pin moves, but I forgot to check, my bad. In the Hell in a Cell, there is a door this year, but it is still the same way of getting out of the cell. This year, using a finisher, in this case called the OMG moment, but no new animations. There are no OMG moments off the top of the cell to the floor. As previously mentioned in an IGN article months ago, it is just the same as last year, just any grapple, so you can easily chuck your opponent off the cell when they've climbed the top, for example with a super kick. On the top of the cell, though, breaking through the top has slightly changed. It is not guaranteed that both players will fall down if a takedown move has been performed. Depending on where you are, your opponent and you may both fall down together, you may fall down by yourself, or your opponent just falls down and you stay up top. You can no longer fall through the open gap either by just walking, but sadly you can't dive through the gap to the ring. Oh well. The 619 position has more move options, including Mark Henry's body avalanche, through the ropes, leg drop guillotine, rope chokes, Christian's slingshot slap, and an E-strike. The corner finishers, such as the punt kick, are still there, but Orton now has 2 RKOs as finisher and no punt. But the punt kick is still available. There is, in fact, available as signatures as well now. In fact, Christian's spear is now a signature. Talking about finishers, there is a third finisher option this year, the alternate finisher, which is used for the announce table. For example, Punk has the Tiger Driver as his announce table finisher instead of the Go to Sleep. Of course, it wouldn't go through a table, obviously. All the finishers are slams in this alternate scenario. If someone has 2 catch finishers, whatever the first finisher will be, it's catch finisher. E.g., Kane has a chokeslam and a tombstone, which are both catch finishers, but can only catch for the chokeslam as that's in slot 1. Chokeslam, Attitude Adjustment, Go to Sleep, RKOs, Super Chokeslam, which are still just a normal Chokeslam catch animation, Super Kick, Tombstone, and World's Strongest Slam seem to be the only catch finishers, though there could be more, but Corey confirmed not. There could be more for DLC, we don't know. The Super Heavyweight Superplex of Death does work with the table too, but surprisingly is bugged when 2 tables or 2 tables with fire. The table will just stay there and float in the air while the ring collapses. Quite an easy bug that should have been caught, and I found it the first time I played the game because that's what I wanted to check. There is still some stretching issue bugs with some slams into weapons when there's lots of weapons lying about. And one big bug involved while playing was with Daniel Bryan's guillotine front necklock submission, where it froze when the move was interfered with, leaving Austin and me stuck in the hold indefinitely. Austin must have been screaming, "No, no, no." Aside from these couple of bugs, gameplay is far smoother than last year. Hit detection is slightly better too, even interfering on moves. There are times, depending on when the move is interfered on, where the enemy will stay down if they've landed awkwardly from the interference. Some strikes from behind also look great, like clotheslines, and even a missile dropkick provide good animations in reverse. Breaking point submissions aren't as bad as last year, but it's still a guarantee of submission winning if a body part is red. Each red body part does affect the superstar. A red head will give more groggy chance, arms will affect submission strength, legs will affect walking, of course I like my quaddies, and torso will increase the chance of submission and reduce the adrenaline of the opponent. Now, on to new match types. Inferno match has been updated. No longer is there a gauge and must throw them over the ropes. Instead, you must roll them towards the fire and use a Royal Rumble style minigame by hitting the red area twice to put them on fire, though an automatic escape is achieved by using a finisher. No longer must you wait till 500 degrees to do it, you can just do it any time, and it can only be achieved by rolling them into the fire, not turnbuckles or throwing them over the top rope or anything else. It's a good change, but it feels just like a 1v rumble in a way, and when you put them near the fire, you don't see the fire animation on them when you put them on fire, and when they're close to the ropes, they're so close to the ropes that they would be on fire anyway. It's baffling, somewhat lazy that they didn't check it, because the fire extinguishers come out, they're on flames, but you don't see the flames. Weird. I Quit match is a good addition, much like a Rumble elimination as well. The opponent must hit the red area, which is tiny, before the I Quit fully appears. Every wrong attempt by the opponent also moves this red bar, which makes it even more challenging, which it should be. Just ask the ref at any time when they're on the mat or during submission to try and achieve victory. Rope physics are still not back in WWE 13, but at least opponents will stay down longer. In fact, if down on the outside and being counted out, it will use a last man standing style minigame to try and get you up. A nice feature. Though it could be abused online. Hey, there's always noobs. Screw 'em. No new ladder finishers this year from what I could tell. Special guest referee can be used for a variety of match types, including I Quit, Tag Team and Fatal 4-Ways. If you're naughty, John Laurinaitis will come out and you will be replaced by the regular referee. I did this once while someone was pinning and the normal referee rushed out. Ref slided on the ramp and did the count from there. It was hilarious. If Johnny is the referee, then if replaced, only the regular referee will turn up. No Johnception here, folks. Gauntlet matches are back in WWE 13, 1 versus 3. That's it. Nothing more to be said. With regards to universe modes, there are plenty of new features, such as having major events on any days, pay-per-views on any Sunday, even themes to pay-per-views such as Outnumbered, where the main events are Handicap or Inferno. Internet titles in the game and can be defended in the game at any time. Far as many cutscenes in universe, there wasn't much we saw when playing the game originally. I've seen the trailer for the new universe. Well, trailer, there was a lot of branching options and stuff, but when we were playing, we saw a lot of old animations, but that could have just been unlucky us. I did see the Eddie animation though. It looks funny as hell. There's also new options, and you can turn off certain aspects of universe stories, such as crowd reaction changing, disbanding or forming of teams, and of course my personal favourite, restarting universe at any time. I'll discuss universe mode in greater detail in another video. Create About is the worst new feature in the game by far. It doesn't even compare to the features that was in the game when it was in 2007. For example, you may use any unlocked belt as a template, and while straight off there's a few unlocked, you can have up to 30 and 40 including DLC, there's not much you can really do with it apart from change the metal colour and strap colour. There's no paint tool at all from looking, and the whole feature was hidden away under My WWE and not in the created features. Why? Because they didn't want to show it, probably. A lot of people at the press event I went to had no idea what it was. I was the only one that found it. A lot of new move animations. My personal favourite is the inverted Frankensteiner. Oh yes. And a new powerbomb. Really good. But annoyingly, still in Create a Finisher, there is still animations there which are not available in the main moveset, such as the Regal Cutter or the Trouble in Paradise without the kick. There are lots of new taunts in the Create a Feature. In Create a Finisher, I should say. In Create a Stage, sadly, you can't climb the fist if you choose the fist option. And when playing the game, there is limited access to use the stage and Create an Arena. But apart from that, it is a massive, massive improvement in Create an Arena. You can have paint tools on the stage, on the superstar picks, you can have backgrounds. There's too much to cover in one general overview of the game. To be fair, it will be said in another video. There's stacks and stacks of information to give you guys. Crotch Blur is still in. A list of all preset moves and entrances can be seen shortly. There are some missions which makes me think they will be DLC, and that my hunch was right. Drew McIntyre and Layla were in preset movesets. Talking with Smack Talks, there's over 40 plus DLC stuff, which we knew about before the announcements or whatever, because of moves and titles and goodness knows, there's stacks of stuff that's coming out this year as DLC. I didn't play much of the Attitude Era, decided to stay away from it, but from what I saw there was something to unlock in every match by doing the historic objectives, which were objective, not mandatory, not optional, that's the word. And the Attitude Era arenas look amazing. The new WrestleMania arena is indoors, not outdoors, to confirm. AI also try and do directional throws to move nearer to the centre of the ring by the looks of things from what I played. WWE 13 is what WWE 12 should have been last year. The new features make it great. Unfortunately, we still know little about the online modes in terms of this recording being made a few days before IGN stuff, and what is included, but I can see lots of people making great montages with the game this year with what can be done. 25 ways to hit the RKO with my crash test dummies will look awesome. It's disappointing that Creative Belt was effectively rushed, but it gives them something for next year, as always. The game runs smoother, looks smoother, and plays great. It's going to be really, really annoying having to wait 3 more weeks before unleashing the Shining Wizard. And 3 months to wait for the Brainbuster. If you haven't played WWE 12, buy WWE 13. Buy it. Buy it for me even, but I don't care. Buy this game because it's such a big improvement. Don't forget to like the video, tell your friends all about it, guys. I will see you very soon with more WWE 13 goodness. I'm the king for a reason. Want WWE 13 really cheaply? Buy it from me. I'm doing pre-orders right now for the game for 35 quid. In fact, it could be even cheaper in coming weeks. And if you buy it now, you'll be entered into a prize draw to win a mystery prize. Ooh. Free delivery if you live in the UK, guaranteed UK release date if you live in the EU, £5 postage, and no guaranteed release date, but hey, it's probably cheaper anyway. So don't fret, pre-order now!